The following podcast is brought to you by the Johners Podcasting Network, found exclusively at WrestlingWithJohners.com.
Oh, Bucklebomb! Don't you dare be sour. Clap for your brand new WWE World Heavyweight Champion and feel the power. Welcome everybody to the latest episode of the Chop Shop, brought to you by Bucklebomb Entertainment and in association with our friends at the Johners Podcasting Network. Introducing him first, hailing from Luton, United Kingdom, he is your one Walsh Master, your host. I'm the most interesting man in all of sports entertainment, Luke Anthony Walsh. Bada bing, bada boom. How we are doing? We've got a full house for certainly a big episode. Introducing next, here's your reigning, defending, undisputed Bucklebomb Trivia Champion of the World, DM Grizzle.
What's going on, y'all? How are you? And host of the newest show from Bucklebomb Entertainment, the Buckle Boys Live on Mondays.
Buckle Boys Live.
7 Eastern, 6 Central.
It should be renamed Monday Night Bucklebomb, you know?
I like it.
Let's play into it. Introducing next, he is our friend and yours, Orlando Orego.
Hi, everybody.
How you doing? And who's this we have here? We have a brand new entrant. He is the fighting pride of El Mexico, Hector Hernandez. What we all saying? Welcome to the Madhouse.
How y'all doing? I had to take a little time out from wrestling news for a little while, but I'm back and I'm happy to be with you guys.
Welcome to the team, Hector. We're happy to have you.
Welcome.
As the joke would go 12 months ago, welcome to the Thunderdome, baby. Let's jump straight into the last 48 hours. We discussed live on the show, live on Bucklebomb Entertainment, about Big E saying he's going to cash in, and new WWE Heavyweight Champion of the World.
Yes, yes, finally. It's about damn time.
I love it.
Daniel, I'm going to start with you first.
Okay. You expect them to mess it up, or you expect them to get your hopes up, or not even to deliver on what they advertise. So to see them not only actually have him cash in and pull the trigger, it's cool. It definitely means that exciting new things are going to happen with this draft. This seems kind of like a rebirth for WWE this week, although we've seen them do this before time and time again, and things are cool for 2 weeks and then it's not. But hey, let's try and be positive. It made me super happy. It made me really happy. I haven't watched Raw and smiled that much in a long time. It was really cool.
I mean, let's not beat around the bush here. It has many layers, and we'll get onto that in just a second. Orlando, you were elated to see to have the former NXT champion finally be crowned WWE champion.
Yes, I'm very happy that Big E won. He deserves it. I mean, he's been in the company, 13 years? 13 years. So, finally to get that moment. And then, him and Kofi, I'm waiting for Xavier Woods to win his championship too. I hope it's probably in the next year or two, because I want the New Day to all three of them to have the WWE championship. So, hopefully that happens. So,
are we not classing up, down, down title as canon? Are we not canon as
no
world title?
It's better than the 24/7 championship, that's for sure.
Oh,
I know, right?
It's
just straight facts. It's just straight facts. Hector, I'm going to come to you. Obviously, we all watched the Big E WWE 24 and his story in the last 10, 11 years from, coming into FCW to then into NXT, and obviously the formation of the New Day, transforming his entire wrestling career to what it is now. I mean, this has been a long time coming, but is this the best idea?
It's the best idea. We've been waiting for it forever. It's his time. I just hope that
Is it the right time though?
It was either now or never, because you needed something, because AEW's kicking your butt. So it's pretty obvious that this was a reaction. But I also feel that Monday Night Football also had something to do with it. I'm just hoping that it's not like champion for 3 weeks and then they take it out, put it back on like last year or something. But hopefully gets a lengthy run with the title. He deserves it.
Well, I mean, they did say in the reports they wanted to have him win the championship during the draft. So I mean,
shush,
they had it
Orlando,
planned
this is
already.
my job. This is shush. It's my show, my job.
My bad. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, though.
As I was alluding to, yes, they were. First point of order is that this was scheduled to take place on the October 4th episode of Monday Night Raw, straight after the draft. I mean, yeah. I mean, you can obviously it's not a secret if you're a regular listener to the Chop Shop and Bucklebomb that they are throwing everything at the wall now, considering AEW are on another planet to what WWE could ever reach at the moment. But pulling it now and even announcing that he was going to cash in, it's not quite the same.
Yeah, but no, I mean, he had to win. I mean, like, even with that announcement, come on. If he would have lost, then everybody was going to say, burn, WWE now, they're over.
What if, Orlando, you woke up on Tuesday morning and Big E had just run in after the main event and cashed in and won it? Would that not be a bigger moment?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just like a bigger moment was for Big E to win the championship. If they would have done the finish where he lost and a waste of a Money in the Bank briefcase, then people are going to be more upset. Everybody knew that this was kind of like a reactionary type of thing to get a rating. Unfortunately, it didn't work, but it got intrigue from the fans because everybody was tweeting about it for the last 24 hours. So
I don't think that was about this week. This is about next week. And if you see an increase in viewership, maybe one person will put it 2 and 2 together and go, "Hey, maybe we're on to something. Let's try something else like that." We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I mean, yeah. I suppose my unpopular opinion is that it could have been a bit better. It does scream a bit of desperation, and
could have been a lot worse, though.
Could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot worse. And he could have lost it and been in the same club as Baron Corbin and Damian Sandow. But
Brock Lesnar could have punched him in the face and taken the briefcase and cashed in, and then we'd all be going, "I hate everything. I hate everybody. I hate the world. I hate wrestling."
This is true. This is definitely true. But to that point, Daniel, I'll bring this to Hector's that it's not just about next Monday. It's about next Sunday Extreme Rules.
Sure is.
Who do you put him in a program with? Do you have him go against Lashley again? Do you have him against Randall Keith? I mean, it's well, who do you put him with?
I would put him against Lashley, but the faith meter in pretty much every WWE fan to hope that WWE is gonna follow up on the success of 1 or 2 weeks is very low. So I don't have very much confidence that they can take the firecracker that they lit and have it keep going. It's probably gonna fizz out in a few weeks.
I mean, the sort of to the next point, they did then announce the draft to be taking place. I believe it's the start of October. Of course. I think it's October the 1st and then the 4th.
Yes.
Starting on
correct.
SmackDown and then on Monday Night Raw after that. I mean, it's a question, and certainly Extreme Rules will give us a lot of answers as to who they could pull over and give credible matches for. And certainly, there's certainly a few names we could drop who would be credible opponents for Big E. Hello, Drew McIntyre. Hello, I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Well, I was thinking about it because, like, the next month, like, Big E could easily have matches with Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley, Sheamus, save Drew McIntyre probably maybe later on after the draft, maybe. Because like Sheamus and Biggie, they had an incredible false count. No, they had a great match before. Like I'm saying for Biggie to get some wins, to build him up.
I think anything that happens until that draft doesn't matter. We're going to get Dolph Ziggler for 3 weeks, and we will completely forget about it, and then we will move on to life with Big E as champion after the draft.
They do have history though.
He's here to
but they have history though. Dolph and Big E, they do have history. So I mean,
of course they do.
Of course, but like that's the thing that you guys are saying that you want
everybody.
The thing that has me hopeful about Big E though is that he's not only a likable guy with the fans, but he's also a likable guy in that locker room. So pretty much everybody in the locker room likes Big E. So
it's funny. It's funny you say that. Coming on to our next point, very very swiftly. He is a locker room leader and a legend. And I was preparing my notes for this episode when I came across the tweet from one Bray Wyatt who said the following: I am late on this and I wasn't there, but Big E is the type of dude that the boys line up to congratulate. It's a real good look. I think that coming from Bray Wyatt it just sums it up, doesn't it, about how much love and care there is for Big E. And if you haven't seen that WWE 24 documentary, go and watch it.
Yeah, I agree. It's very good.
And it helps add to the speculation of what the hell is going on with Bray also. I mean, I still have lots of other questions about Big E. Like, are the New Day back together? Are they a unit again? Are they just hanging out next to each other? What's going on here?
No, they have to bring them back together because come on now.
Are they going to redraft them apart again?
No, they're not going to do that because come on. No, because I feel like the story is going to be this. I think Kofi's going to win the Royal Rumble to face Roman so that way he can get the title off of Roman because I don't think The Rock is going to come for WrestleMania season, or they probably just do Rock versus Roman without the belt. I mean, I don't think they need a belt for it.
I'm trying to work out, is that half as bad or twice as bad as Sable coming back into the company? I don't know.
Oh, I'm actually thinking like future bookings because, like, come on now, New Day versus the Bloodline.
Yeah, you put yourself in the ditch when you said Sable. Oh. Don't. You have to give us something credible.
The fans want Sable. Okay, damn it. All right.
Fans?
And Orlando, if you had a magic wand, you put Gore TV on every episode of Raw. Let's not beat on the bush. But I mean, like even the love and the care that Biggie has in the locker room, and certainly even on the bump, that WWE program, the bump, the outpour of love for not just Big E, but certainly somebody that he paid tribute to was to Brody Lee, to one John Huber, Luke Harper, and there's some beautiful fan art floating around at the moment of Big E holding the title with Harper looking over him, and such, it brings a tear to your eye, doesn't it? It's just one of those moments. I think could have done it sooner, but I think all things considered, that was a pretty cool moment.
Here's a question for you though, because I was thinking about this the other day. If you put the New Day back together, do you have the guts to turn Big E heel? Because when
no. Hector, we have a rule here on Chop Shop. If you suggest a ridiculous idea, I will kick you and I will punish you.
Trust me, I've been kicked out before, so yeah.
You have.
Because when Kofi won the title at WrestleMania, I was expecting Big E to eventually turn on Kofi and go for the title.
No, they have said in interviews though. They're never going to have a turn on each other or have a match with each other. However, I mean,
it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. However, I would still love it to see like Kofi versus Roman because that's never happened. And Kofi going over to SmackDown to win the title, maybe retire on SmackDown, so because I feel like this is going to be maybe the last year or two that we're going to see Kofi, so I'm thinking like his contract's almost up in 2 more years. So
I think one name that's screaming out in my head to do a future program and go back to the draft: Big E versus Finn Balor. That is a match I want to see.
ooh, I like that.
Assuming that Finn Balor fails to beat Roman Reigns, which
Well, it's gonna happen.
It's never always a certainty. Now that the Broctopus is lurking around within WWE shores, so
Give me Keith Lee. Give me Keith Lee.
Ooh.
yeah, but they have to build it back up again credibly.
Well,
fine.
no, I mean,
I don't
look,
care how long
after
it
the
takes. It doesn't have to be next week.
No, I mean, like they could do it after the draft. They could start building them up, and then maybe like 2022 they could do it, like maybe in a Royal Rumble, like a Royal Rumble match.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's that there are doors to be opened, but ultimately it's the question of what they'll do with him and how they choose to do it. We'll come on to NXT in just a little bit. There's only one other point I want to point out, and I said this in quite a few group chats on Tuesday morning. Kevin Dunn being the greatest vision mixer in the world. I go onto WWE YouTube channel and I go to find the cash in, see what happened, only for them to cut out the exact pinfall and what happened.
Everybody go to WWE on Fox. They will show the whole thing. That YouTube channel. They show the whole thing.
I was shamefully watched the whole 2-minute interaction between Bobby Lashley and Big E on TikTok.
Yeah.
I mean,
Can we give it up at least? Can we give it up to Bobby Lashley though? An amazing champion he was. Like he held it down for a good 5 to 6 months.
He's been the best part of the last year.
Despite what they threw at him with the girls and the Hurt Business and Cedric and Shelton and MVP and let's face it, pre-WrestleMania, if we'd said that it was going to be Bobby who was going to have the torch, not Drew, I think half of us would be doubting ourselves. So the way he has really carried the company and really carried the belt is a testament to how good Bobby Lashley is. And
we still haven't got that Brock Lesnar match, which is what he came for.
He deserves it. He deserves that freaking match. Give us that match.
The draft is coming, and so is Saudi Arabia. So I'll let you make your own assumptions on that one. We'll come back to Raw in a little bit later on because there's some other stuff we can talk about. But talking about brand new champions, we have a brand new NXT 2.0, whatever it is, NXT Splatoon champion, and it's Tommaso Ciampa.
I'm glad I'm actually glad that he won it back because he deserves it, because he's been so long since he hadn't had his match or like get that belt back because of injury. So I'm glad that they decided to put the belt back on him. So
we said this on Monday night, Daniel, and I'm gonna bring it up here. Tommaso Ciampa on NXT has smashed out of the park for years on end.
Correct.
He's going a bit stale. Like,
right?
Yes. Dexter Lumis deserves the title. Yes, they could give Walter, and there's a list of people who could realistically carry the company to this new era of NXT. But Ciampa and Gargano is guilty of this as well. What more can you do with them?
Well, I think you're absolutely right, but I mean, on Monday we basically said the same thing. But I think that he can still put somebody over. Obviously, I'm pretty sure that's the only reason that they're doing this. But what's a better story? You've got Kyle O'Reilly, somebody like that. Whoever you want the next champion to be, they want it in a random 4-way match because Samoa Joe was injured, or now you can actually build a program around it. So I guess it does logically make sense, but it did feel like it fell a little bit flat, even though I was still happy for him to have the belt. It was kind of mixed emotions for me.
Well, the main headline going into the match was that Pete Dunne has just signed a new contract per Triple H's suggestion. So a lot of people thought it was going to be the Broserweight style. Unfortunately, it never will be. But
you don't know that. Maybe he'll win it. Oh no!
Broserweight back.
Please.
I want Dunne versus Walter 3.
No, actually, Pete Dunne gives me like early Eddie Guerrero like heel vibes, not like the comedy version of it, but like the early like when he came back in 2002. Remember when he came back and he had matches with RVD?
Hmm.
You know, so he's giving me those vibes. So so I could see him win the NXT title. Come on, he's still young. He's in his late 20s, early 30s. I mean,
But
come on.
he also held the NXT UK title for 600 days. He's credible with the belt. I mean, maybe he shouldn't have deserved to hold the belt for 600 days, but that's for another day. But Pete Dunne can do it. He's got the credibility there. Hector, your take on Ciampa becoming the champion?
I'm happy for him because he deserves it. But like you said, he is getting a little stale. But he said for years that he doesn't want to be on the main roster. And with the way that they're booking the main roster, I'm kind of scared about what they would do. But we'll see how it goes.
I'm going to ask a question to the three of you, and I want a simple yes or no answer. Gargano Ciampa one more time War Games. Yes or no?
No.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Really? You guys really think so? No.
Anyway,
But-
back to it. Yeah, I think obviously Ciampa and Gargano have such a rich and rivaled history that is akin to none other. Well, a la Rock Austin and the John Cena versus Batista and John Cena JBL and some of the great rivalries of our time. But the fact that now that Ciampa does have the belt, it could either be a transitional champion to give somebody like Dexter Lumis, who, let's face it, is the next NXT champion. And if they don't put it on Dexter Lumis, they really are making a huge mistake in 2.0.
No, actually, you didn't see the showdown because I saw like maybe at least two people that Vince sees as the next champion. One of them was in the Fatal 4-Way, which my God, I just don't get why they put him in that fucking match. Excuse my language. And also the guy that beat LA Knight, Rex Steiner, which that's a better name than the name that he has right now.
What's his new name? Braun
Braxter or something like that. I don't.
Okay.
So stupid. I'm sorry, but like
Bronson Rex Steiner.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh no! I lie. It's Bronson Rex Steiner is his real name. Bron Breaker is his
Braun Breaker. That's it.
That's the one. Braun Breaker. Oh.
I mean, yeah. Well, we can sort of dive into the new era of 2.0 NXT with these new names. Braun Breaker being the first one, Gabriel Stevenson being another name. What did we think of the new look layout of NXT?
Hold on, we gotta fix that.
Yeah, hold
Fix
on.
that audio.
Yeah, I think it's Hector.
It's Hector. Of course, it's the Mexican.
Hey.
Damn.
I mean, it is Mexican Independence Day.
We'll cut that out in the edit.
Yeah.
Please help us, Sarah. Anyway, yes. Where were we? Yes, the 2.0 era of NXT with, of course, Rex Steiner becoming Bron Breakker, and we've talked about LA Knight, and we've got Gabriel Stevenson signed with the company, and obviously we've got Brock Lesnar 2.0 coming through. I'm trying to think the name off the top of my head.
He's Gunner.
Parker Bordeaux.
Gunner. Yes, Gunner.
It's Gunner.
Harlan.
Is it hard? Yeah, or something like that. I forgot what it was. But no. But what I realized from this new NXT 2.0 is that there were a lot of new faces. That's probably going to be the ones that are going to take over the brand, and the ones either they're fading them out or they're going to get called up in the draft. LA Knight is probably going to get called up. I think the way, except for Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae, is probably going to be called up. Yeah, because they already did their stint in NXT. So what else is there for them to do?
I mean, where'd you put him? Gargano, Big E, maybe.
Yeah, come on now. They're
Hey,
look that wedding that they had on NXT 2.0. That is the best thing that ever happened to that whole episode, and that could easily be on a Raw show. That wedding was ridiculous. It was funny as hell, and you could easily put that on a Raw segment.
it was a wedding that didn't involve 3-minute warning, a snake, or aces and eights. I mean, it's.
Oh my god!
Thank you very much.
Very good.
The nostalgia.
It was a beautiful wedding. It was a la to SummerSlam 1991 and the match made in heaven, and having Dexter Lumis say "I do." Come on.
Yeah, of course. They built that up for him to just say just 2 words.
I love it.
I do. Everybody's like, oh, I love it. Like the whole acting of that was perfect. It was perfection.
And the pop comedy with the axe and
No, it's just like, come on. It's just like that could have easily been on an episode of Raw. Like that was like
if it was on an episode of Raw, we would have had somebody run in and then it would be completely spoiled. That's the thing.
I don't know about that.
NXT needs to stay in NXT.
The segment went way too long, though. I'll say that the segment went way too long.
It's a wedding.
I think it was perfect.
What you expected is, we need to make time for this 40-minute title match. It's a wedding. Like, you went a 2-minute segment. What do you want, bro?
Oh my god! But like honestly, like a lot of this last night's episode of NXT 2.0, it was really much about fading out what was previously on NXT and putting in what is going to be new. Like that tag team, that's like an amateur wrestler of AOP. Like, come on now, those
the Creed brothers. Is that it?
Yes, those two. Yes,
they're
not even brothers. They're not even brothers. They don't even they look alike, but they're not even brothers. That's even.
I think that was their name, though, wasn't it? Wasn't that their name?
No. They're making them as brothers, but they're not really brothers in real life.
Okay. Well, hey, can we just talk about Dexter Lumis showing everyone a knife or the giant axe that he had in his jacket when everyone objected to the wedding?
It was just great comedy, Yeah.
My favorite part was
comedy.
My favorite part was when Beth came in doing like she was gonna like continue the ceremony after like Dexter choked out the priest. Oh my god, I can't.
It's good stuff.
I mean, I'm gutted that they haven't given the tombstone pile driver to Dexter Lumis. Otherwise, he would have chokeslammed or tombstoned the priest. Which is,
excuse you, it's because he wasn't cheated on. Hello, that's the only reason why. That was why that priest got tombstone. You don't remember the story? Because like Lita slept with Edge, so
Anyway,
Kane was feeling something. Anyway. Sorry, I was going back in time. Sorry.
A couple other names that we talk about NXT 2.0 that we are looking forward to from the streets of Chicago. God, that doesn't sound familiar at all. Tony D'Angelo is set to debut in NXT very soon. God, he smells of an Italian version of one Chick Magnet Punk. He's an indie guy. He's at another company at the moment. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yeah. No, actually, he's giving me more like FBI vibes, like the full-blooded Italians from like Nuzio and Chuck Palumbo and what was the other guy? Stamboli.
Lo Guido.
Yeah, there you go.
Tracy Smothers.
Yeah, thank you. That stuff. Yeah.
Rest in peace, Tracy.
I know. But like, yeah, like that guy was like, what is he doing? And I was like, when I heard his accent, I was like, oh no, don't tell me they're doing a mafia guy. And then when I saw the name, I was like, seriously? What is with that with mafia?
At least they're honest.
I can't.
And of course, the other name that we sort of haven't talked about, and of course, one in the future, and somebody that Vince sees as a future WrestleMania main eventer, and that's Von Wagner. Obviously, replacing Kyle O'Reilly in the 4-way. Does look like a Pete Dunne wannabe with his man bun. Yeah, it's what do we think to these three? D'Angelo, Bronson Breaker, and what we're going to see in Wagner.
Well, let's see. Let's first of all say they're going to shorten his name eventually. So are they going to call him Vaughn or are they going to call him Wagner? And if you needed a character like that, why wouldn't you just bring in Walter that you already have, who's amazing and you could do amazing, wonderful things with, and it's convincing. Speaking of murder mafia, like, come on, like, you know, I guess he would be the head of like the Gentleman's Mafia or something. Anyway, like, I don't know what he sees in this guy. I'm not going to hate on him just yet. I haven't seen what he can do.
No. Well, I'll hate on him for you because I'll hate on him for you because I didn't appreciate him taking my Bay's position. Like, come on now, Kyle O'Reilly deserves to be in that Fatal 4-way, and he just got it because he helped him. Come on,
Orlando, you'll hate on anybody if wouldn't like a hands turn. That's your role. That's what you do. Final point on NXT before we move on. Of course, the new set, the new layout to the Capitol Wrestling Center, formerly known as the Performance Center, of course. What do we think to the layout? Because I've seen mixed reviews.
Well, I like it. It's just a lot of people don't like the color of it.
It feels like the Thunderdome, only rainbow looking.
Rainbow Dome.
I mean, that's. I mean, like, certainly, if you take the cameras out and take the screens out, the Thunderdome could work with fans in. Like, it's a perfectly fine layout, and you know, I think a bit of color doesn't hurt anybody. I think certainly they could have come up with better things, and obviously, you know, black and gold will always be in Triple H's blood. But you know, it's an interesting look, and considering one Kevin Dunn was in charge of NXT last night, that man will never die.
We don't promote death here, okay? Let's not say that.
It's a new era.
Yeah, okay.
And I think it will take some getting used to.
His career won't die. How about that? We can.
There you go. That's better wording.
We can wish death on someone's career. That's fine.
Kevin Dunn would probably record his own funeral, even then get his camera cuts wrong.
Anyway. Damn.
As long as he doesn't ruin War Games in November, then we'll be fine. Moving on back to Monday Night Raw, and obviously we saw a brand new WWE champion in Big E, but we also saw the match between Bobby Lashley and Randy Orton. And considering what we got, it wasn't bad. I think Randy Orton could still very much be in the title mix.
You always can. Yeah. But they're quite like, how interesting is it going to? I mean, that was one of the more interesting Randy Orton matches maybe ever. And it's because it was transitional and because it wasn't the actual main thing that was happening, though, or was it just great?
I think what it is, and this is, I was thinking about this morning. Randy Orton's a face at the moment. He's not a heel,
right?
And you know, it's a nice kind of. I think that. Yeah, but he is. He's a good guy. He's somebody that we can realistically. He's not like a devilishly heel Viper like we've been used to year in year out with Juan Cena. But you know, it's different. It's like seeing the Miz's face. I enjoyed that run, and I'm enjoying Randy. You know, just the door is open with Orton against Big E. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Would you think that it's more Riddle that's kind of rubbing off on the way that he comes off as opposed to Randy towards Riddle? Because it's also fun-loving. Randy Orton could just RKO someone and we'd all go, "Oh, Randy, he does that." And
yeah, of course.
And I don't know how that happened, but I think it has something to do with Riddle.
Perhaps.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he did RKO Riddle and the people cheered. So I mean.
And that's what we did. We all went, yay! Oh, Randy, we knew that was going to happen. He'll
Yeah.
be fine. Pick him up. Let's get on. Let's get some tag
Yeah.
titles.
Exactly.
PG content.
Yeah. I mean, what else can you say? Another big moment in Monday Night Raw, and I'm very much gearing up for this for next Sunday. Lily has a friend.
As a cousin. Lily's cousin.
And Alexa Bliss is starting to get under Charlotte Flair's skin. And I think she might get the belt. Are we all for this?
Sure.
Let me just say though, that doll is atrocious. It's worth $40. I mean, it's a cute little doll. I mean, I wouldn't mind buying it, but $40 for a doll? No.
Oh, but what such a cool doll it is.
$39.99 Orlando, please.
Oh, come on. Add the 1 cent. God damn it. Anyways.
Marketing.
$40. But no. But I have a feeling that Alexa's probably going to be that weird girl that's probably going to be making dolls for her enemies. We started with Charlotte. Who's next? Nia? Shayna doll? I mean, she's going to have a line of dolls that she's going to probably sell, which is probably going to sell out for WWE. Like, I heard a lot of people trying to buy that doll, that Charlie doll.
Well, I think I wouldn't be against Alexa being champion and then building up Shayna Baszler again, as an ass kicking, hardcore, eating machine that we all knew and loved her to be in NXT in 2019 and certainly in the Royal Rumble 2020.
Well, now that Wyatt is no longer with the company, what's the point in keeping her in that character? Don't you want to transition her back to the Vixen?
No, they need merch that's just like that so they can sell all the crap that they've already made and alter it, and they'll have a whole new line of merch, just like the Fiend.
She hasn't really done a lot of spooky stuff. Like, it's more like in-depth character, creepy, weird kind of promo stuff. Like, she has like the only thing, like, what was it? Like, she did like spooky was like she came into the ring to ask for a match for Charlotte for the title in Miami. So I mean, it's just like she hasn't really done like the whole voodoo thing that what Bray is really known for. So
I think she's done enough to get over on her own now. And yes, we've shown concern over the weeks that what would she become now that the Fiend is no more. But I think certainly with the playground and certainly with Lily, and what she's now doing with Charlotte Flair, I think there's enough that she's doing it off her own back now, which is great to see. And I think just maybe, with a little bit of spookum next Sunday, she could be the new Raw Women's Champion.
But you have to say, like, the fans are really behind her. Like, the last 2 weeks, the fans were cheering for her. I haven't heard like a "We Want Wyatt" chant, so that's at least good.
I do question though how Nia fits into all of this though, because they are clearly building something between Charlotte and Nia again. So are you trying to get the belt off so you can focus on that? And that's a grudge match, and that'll be a good match that stands alone, that doesn't need a championship. And then Alexa can go on to do whatever. And once again, we have a draft in a few weeks. So I don't know.
It all comes full circle, doesn't it? And certainly with the other women's singles matches, who knew we were so lucky? Nikki Ash against beat Tamina, Rhea Ripley beating Natalia, even Doudrop beating Eva Marie. 4 women's matches on a Monday Night Raw. I mean,
they had to make up because they didn't have any matches on SmackDown. So
they're like, quick, all the women, quick, go.
Part of me likes to envision, and you know what? I don't even want to say this on air. Actually, never mind.
Say it. You say a lot of things.
Okay.
Wait.
I do say a lot of things. But part of me wants to envision like Becky Lynch has Vince's balls firmly grasped behind in the gorilla position, say, "Send them all out there right now, or I'm going home and I'm taking Seth with me." And fuck you.
Well, she didn't do that on SmackDown. It was more on Raw. Like, why would she do that on Raw? It's more on SmackDown.
And why
She has
not?
the she has the stroke on SmackDown. I mean, come
She's the
on.
champion of the entire locker room.
Exactly.
Brand
And
be
they
damned.
created that whole, like, they put some new women there so that they could face Becky, and I'm like, they don't even use them, for Christ's sake. Like, a shame.
Yeah.
I'm just glad we got a lot of women's matches. It's good.
Yes. You know what? I like Piper Niven. At least she's like showing like what she could do. I mean, like, hopefully she moves on from Eva Marie. I don't know what they're gonna do with Eva Marie now. I like to see maybe I don't want to say that name. Piper Niven like build up like a nice little singles wins, and maybe she'll face Charlotte. That would be a new, refreshing new match.
Yeah, maybe. It remains to be seen what happens, and certainly with the shuffle up that's going to come, it's whether they will utilize the women again, and yeah, do we trust WWE enough to do that?
Nope.
No.
Well, the only ones that I could see that is going to move to Raw is Bailey, Natty, and Tamina. Because everybody else, I think they're in a feud in a sense, and I think they want to keep them there because for Becky Lynch, maybe. So because I don't know who else would you want. I would hope they move Liv. Liv Morgan deserves to be on Raw and maybe have more matches. You know,
Yeah.
Zelina Vega, she said that she loves more Raw than SmackDown because I think she was used more on Raw. I mean, like, technically she was used a lot more on Raw. So I mean, I wouldn't mind her on Raw. Like, move her to Raw.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? But only time will tell. The only other point of note from Monday Night Raw: Damian Priest retaining the United States Championship against Jeffrey Hardy. I mean, is this the right path for Damian Priest?
All roads go through Jeff Hardy.
Oh God,
it's just true. Sorry, I know that wasn't the answer you wanted.
Yeah, but I could see maybe Damian Priest going over SmackDown. I mean, that'd be a nice little get for SmackDown because, like,
they don't need to leave him there for a while.
I mean, I know they don't need to, but I mean, it would be refreshing, like Damian Priest versus Roman. Come on, and then like he'll have the U.S. belt.
Are you moving the IC title back to Raw?
Yeah, ooh. I would like to see Shinsuke on Raw. You know.
Let's face it. We'd like to think King Nakamura.
King Nakamura. Sorry, it's King Nakamura, guys.
Kingsuke Nakamura.
I like that.
The King of Strong Style himself, and sort of going on to SmackDown, as we discussed last week, the Super SmackDown that we saw, obviously in tribute to 9/11. Yeah, what can we say? First and foremost, leaving out Zelina Vega. Come on, Vince. You say in the documentary that you're proud of New York, and that is how you repay the people of New York.
Are we forgetting how petty WWE is? Come on now. Look what Zelina Vega did after she was fired. What she was trying to do. Then she resigns, and then they're just like, you're going to eat this crow, WWE crow, for a little bit. Then we'll probably trust you again, and maybe we'll give you some wins or maybe a championship. You know?
I'm going to come to Hector. What's your take on it?
I just don't understand why she's back.
I was coming to Hector, not.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. Go ahead.
No, you're good. So, from my understanding, she resigned with the impression that Black was going to stay in WWE and they'd be together on Raw. Obviously, that didn't work out. But isn't that something that you would talk about between man and wife before you sign a contract? Just my opinion.
No, because they even said it like in their their Twitch that they said it in two separate ways. They said it as husband and wife, and then they said it as wrestler to wrestler. They understood what happened there. Like, you know, she wanted to resign. You know, they had that talk together about like, okay, they're going to be together. He's going to be on SmackDown. She's going to be on SmackDown. She'll probably be used. He'll have his moments where he'll have his matches. Like, damn it, we should have seen Biggie versus Aleister Black. But anyways, but the company fired him. So,
I think we've all missed the point of how that on the certainly the doorstep of Ground Zero and 20 years since quite possibly the darkest day in modern American history. The daughter of one of the victims gets overlooked, and she had the gear ready, and she was ready to pay tribute. And just in a tweet, she says,
and
"Never mind."
it would have been best publicity because she was actually reading the fucking names on Ground Zero. Like literally, it was right there. Like they could easily have a publicity be like, "Oh, we'd like to give tribute to Zelina Vega. She lost her father in 9/11. She's one of the victims. She's going to do a reading for the ceremony tomorrow night. Please stay tuned," or something like that. It's right there. Sometimes it's like it's slap in the face, right there in their face, and sometimes they don't want to do it.
Yeah,
It's like.
It's frustrating, but it's WWE. What do we come to expect from this company?
Of course.
That is certainly for sure. We also got Brock Lesnar, who he showed up. Certainly put Paul Heyman in an awkward pair of pants.
Of course, come on.
I mean, I wasn't happy with this. I think there's
this is the first because everybody loved this segment. I want to hear your take why you didn't love it.
I think there's more to the story of dragging out where Paul Heyman's loyalty lies, and just having him announce Brock Lesnar like the good old days. Just be like, oh yeah, if Roman's gonna fire you, just come back for me. I was like, okay, cool. Like there needs to be a conflict of interest, and it just isn't. Do you know what I mean?
So you don't want to see a ladder match for Paul Heyman services because everybody wants to see a ladder match for services.
I want to see Paul Heyman on a forklift match. That's what I want to see. That's the Extreme Rules main event we all want to see.
Paul on a pole match,
right?
On a forklift. Actually, on a cherry picker. What was it 2013 CM Punk against Ryback and Paul Heyman when he was sat there on a cherry picker?
Right. But no, but I mean, like it told us the story that it needed to be because I think what happened is that when Brock said like you didn't tell like Roman that I was going to be at SummerSlam, indicating that probably Brock was supposed to be his backup because like he didn't feel like Roman was going to beat John Cena, or he was afraid that John Cena was about to beat Roman, so he did that. He called Brock to help him.
Yeah. Let me put this to you, Orlando. Of course, being our AEW representative in this illustrious podcast, if Don Callis was to turn on the Elite and turn on Kenny Omega, and say he aligns himself with Moose, and all and sort of is torn between the two, would you expect it to be sort of that clear cut in such a short amount of time?
No, I mean, like, but remember, like, he wrestled at WrestleMania, but then he left for a year. And then, like, Roman came back, what was it, last year? And then he called Paul Heyman for assistance. And then, I mean, it was a year. Like, it was not like short notice. Yeah, it was not like short notice. Like,
I don't know. I want it to be drawn out. I want Paul Heyman to really squeal. Because when
it's going to happen. Come on now. It's going to happen.
Paul Heyman.
It's going to happen. Like, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You know how WWE works. They don't know what they're doing until like 10 minutes before the show starts.
This is true.
Well, no. This story, at least they know what they're doing. Because this one looks like it's really playing out. I mean, they may fib a little things, but like they know where their direction they're going with this type of deal. Because come on now. They're really building Roman to be like the alpha male of WWE right now, because he is like he has that belt now for over a year. He has beaten a lot of competitors with amazing matches that they're having with him. So because they know for a fact that The Rock is coming. Because I think The Rock is coming. I mean, it'll probably have to be a tag match or like I don't know if they want to
come in. We've said this for weeks, Orlando. When's he coming?
It's probably going to be Survivor Series.
Hollywood. is going.
No, you think in 2 years? No, it can't be in 2 years.
Not if there's a COVID spike.
Ugh.
The Rock has films to do. He has money. I mean, it's yeah, he could come at any point, but that's Dwayne. He can pull the trigger whenever he wants to, and he will, because that's Dwayne. And that comes on to our final point from SmackDown, is of course the Demon Finn Balor showing up just at the end of SmackDown, not even teasing the big reveal. What are we thinking about this? Are they killing another demon character in such a short amount of time?
He's not going to beat Roman, and yes, they are. That's exactly what's happening.
He's not going to beat Roman. I mean, I would be utterly shocked that if somehow, some way that Finn beats Roman to get the title again. But I'm thinking I think he doesn't want to do the demon so much. I think probably it's a way to like do the demon once and then, probably write him off. I don't know. And then he'll be back as cool Finn Balor. I don't know. It's just.
I mean, all I'll say on the topic is that it was SummerSlam 2016 and it was the Demon Finn Balor that won the inaugural Universal Championship, the jam belt against Seth Rollins in that main event before he had to relinquish it 24 hours later. Just leaving that narrative out there.
I think it's interesting too that now we can think about someone that's being heavily featured on television, even in the main event, and they might be gone in 2 weeks. So, I mean, is this just a way for Roman to beat a monster and then Finn leaves or something? I mean, I don't know. You have to think. Maybe.
Just maybe. And we're going to wrap things up there because, well, I guess we could talk in immense detail about WWE, but we got to save some more content for next week before WWE does something mad all over again. My thanks, of course, to the DM Grizzle, to Orlando, and the debuting sound annoying Hector Hernandez. We'll be back with you next week for another episode of The Chop Shop, brought to you by Bucklebomb Entertainment and the association with the Jonas Broadcasting Network.